Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Jaspreet and I'm really excited about today's project. Today we're going to be making these really lovely oval pebble shaped plates, and I'm really excited because of two reasons. One is that I've been looking for these oval forms, these egg-shaped forms for a really long time. First, I couldn't find them online, and then when I found them, the shipping was either too much or they didn't ship to Singapore at all. So then I made some templates and made a few of these plates, I think about a year or so back. And I tried it, I got it out of my system. I made a bunch of plates, again, my usual style with texture and brush on glazes. Again, like I said, I just got it out of my system and I moved on. Then recently I came across a bunch of these forms on Amazon. And along with the ones that I've used in some of my previous videos, recent videos, I also got these pebble shaped ones. And I'm so happy with the result. So first of all, I was excited that I found my forms. The other thing was the way I glazed them. Now, in real life, I think I'm a little bit of a control freak. And the only place where I think I can exert a little bit of control is clay. At least it gives you the illusion of control, where you're able to mold it to your will and get it nice and round or even or uneven or whatever you want it to do. At least during the making process, you do feel you have some control. Obviously, as soon as it goes into the kiln, you lose all control. But momentarily, at least you feel that yes, it's in control. And I think that's the reason I am so obsessed with ceramics and pottery and clay. I don't know, could be one of the reasons that you feel that you are in control. um, what was the point of the story? All right, yeah, so because I feel this time, in order to glaze them in this manner, I had to let go that control. I had to uh, pour the glazes and let them do their thing and not be picky about where it's going and is it even or uneven or how it's covering the surface and things like that. So it was, for me, it was a little bit stepping out of my comfort zone and doing something different. But I'm so pleased with the result. I really love the way these have turned out. I just made a few of these to see if this is something I'll enjoy or if I like the result, and I'm happy to report that I loved the way these turned out. I will be trying more of these, maybe go a little bit bolder with few more colors. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoy the class. Let's get started. So here's my clay. I'm still using the recycled clay, trying to finish it up. I just quickly compress it. Okay. And then I'm going to take my form. Now these came as a set of 5, I think, again from Amazon. Everything will be linked for you. I'm going to take this one, and so whatever form you choose, just remember you won't cut across, you won't cut close to the form. You have to leave a little bit of margin around the form for the clay to wrap around the edges. So, and if I use a bigger form to cut the clay, I can use a bigger form to cut the clay actually. But I mean, they don't really stack up like this. Like there's no, they don't stack up well. So yes, you can use this as a reference to cut out your clay. I think I'd still go a little bigger than this as well because I need enough clay to wrap around the form here. So I'm just using this as you know, a bigger size as reference, but we'll still need, and then I'll just move this onto a different board, right? I'm not compressing the rims at this stage. Place this on this so that there's enough room on all the sides for the clay to fold and cover the sides. Just remember, this all has to be covered. So sometimes it'll just lift the clay up like this and see if it kind of covers the side, right? This looks okay. All right, now let me just flip this over, and then here's my banding wheel. We don't need this, and I'm going to place, I have this little styrofoam thingy that I place, that I use a little bit of, add a little bit of height. Now I'm going to first add my signature at the back. You can see a few clay marks. I'm going to just clean off the back here. Okay, you can actually start working on the rim. So in this case, because there's no sharp edge, this is a nice smooth edge. What you can do is, using your soft rib, you can just start kind of pressing the clay along, with your hand and the rib, and just helping it conform to the shape here, like this. Okay, just go around, and again I'm trying to make sure
that my clay folds a little bit on the inside, so I'm covering the entire rim and not like halfway through the rim. I want the entire rim because I want a little bit of that angle on the side. I need a little bit of the rim, the walls, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I'm just going around pressing this in so it conforms to the shape. Okay, you can use sponge as well. I'm not too worried because about pressing too hard, because like I said, it doesn't have a sharp transition there, so it should be okay. Right, so once I've done this, now I'm going to just quickly add my signature here. Because there's no texture, I don't have to worry. I'm going to bring in another board and flip this over. Okay, can you see how I've kind of brought them all together, like close to the rim? So that's the idea, that you bring it as close as possible. It's just easy to then cut the shape neatly. So now I'm using my X-Acto knife and I'm going to bring it, place it here, slice it, slide it in here, right? And then I can see I'm just holding on to the clay while I'm cutting, so that doesn't move from the form and I don't end up, getting an uneven cut. So just hold on to the clay, keep pressing it against the form, close to the form, so that you don't, it doesn't fall off and you don't get an uneven rim. That's all. All right, see, we got a nice even cut. And we want nice even rims as well, because you're going to leave the rims bare. Now I'm going to first quickly with a damp finger just soften the outside of the rim. I'm going to spend some more time fiddling with the rims as I usually do, because you know I enjoy that part of pottery. Okay, so once this is done, now I'm going to just lightly release this from the form. Just pull the clay away from the form, slowly going across. My board is on a banding wheel, so it just makes it easier. I'm just pulling it away from the form. Okay, now these forms don't have any kind of center thing that you can pull it out from. I've seen Bill from Alive Guy Pottery use some really uh, some kind of tape that he puts. What's it called? I'm not sure what tape it is, but he uses that and sticks it onto his boards and he pulls them out. You can use that as well, but I'm going to just lift it out like this. And here we have our pebble plate done. It's as simple as that. The fun part is the glazing. This is not done yet, to be honest. I'm going to spend some more time on the rim because I like my nice rounded rims, and in this case especially so, because you're going to leave the rims bare. This is a light brown clay body, so you will be able to see the rim, the nice toasty brown rims, and I want that, right? So what I'm going to do is just take a damp finger and go around cleaning them off, compressing the rim and cleaning off the excess. If you want, you can first start with a sponge. I'm using a yellow sponge. You can use a white Cheryl Mud Tool sponge as well. That works well. But I think eventually I have to go in with my, with the damp fingers to get the nice smooth finish that I'm usually after. So if you see, if you look closely, you'll be able to see that those marks that were on the clay earlier, they're all slightly gone. Now I'm going to just use my finger and just compress the rim once. I've also made these little thingies with like old credit debit cards, and you can use these also to clean off the rim. Like you can go in like this and round it off and clean it off. Can you see how beautiful that does? How amazingly that works? Like this side is all nice and smooth. This side you need to go over, and then you have clay here. Just remove this clay, and that's done. That's your rim done. Just compressing it a little bit to make sure it's kind of even all around, and I enjoy the process. That's why too. Okay, so yeah, that's a plate done, and I'm gonna make a whole bunch of these, get them ready. And once they're ready, then so they will dry slowly under a plastic with weights on top. and then I'll bisque fire them. Once they're bisque fire, then we'll do the glazing together. Glazing is the fun part. I want to do a little bunch of different colors, just play with the glazes basically. So this is just the quick and easy part of making the plate. Next part will be fun. So here are plates after bisque firing. So I have 4 of them here, and you can see the clay is kind of light pinkish beigeish in color. This is going to turn this color, this light brown color. This is the color you'll see after it's been fired. So now we're going to have some fun with them and try a couple of different glazes. I have the glazes right here. Let's see. So I'm thinking of 2 combinations. We'll see. Okay, I'm getting a little bit nervous because I haven't done this before. So what you're going to do is, let's start the smaller one. Let's say kind of get used to it. So we'll do one with soft white, soft red, and chino glaze. This is Nutmeg from Clayscapes. This is a dip and pour glaze, but I kind of pour a little bit out in a little jar. So I have this and I just mix it really well, because dip and pour glazes, they tend to settle at the bottom. Okay, so what we're going to do is, uh, okay, I've already cleaned them up with a damp sponge, but I'm going to take a little bit more so that there's a little bit of dampness to the clay when I pour these glazes on, so that it's not, so it doesn't get sucked up in just one place. Okay, so now let's try. So we're going to do, so the plan is, here's the plan. Clearly I'm nervous. Here's the plan. I'm going to be pouring the glaze onto the clay surface, onto the pot surface, and then pour it back and do like little patches, little bit of overlapping. Like I said, this is a test, so we'll know if it's something which I want to, I mean, I wanted to create some rustic looking stuff for a while, but I haven't done that. So I'm going to just do this, wait for a couple of seconds, and then pour it out. Okay. Just wiping this bit here, nothing else, right? It's a very free flow, organic kind of a thing. Now for this, I would suggest that you thin down your glaze. If your glaze is not thin down, what I'll do is, like my soft white, I know it's thin, but I want to thin it down a little bit more. So I'm adding this here, and adding a little bit of water to it. Add clean water, please. Okay, and then I'm going to just mix it up before I use it. So take a little brush and just, so I'm separating a little bit of glaze out here in a separate pot so that I have a little bit more control over it. And I've mixed a little bit of water as well to thin it down. Okay, now I'm going to pour it somewhere here. There's a little bit of an overlap, and I'm waiting for it to, yeah, okay, that's, I think that's it. Okay, pour it out. Okay, I'm going to save this soft white because I use it for the third one, for the next round as well. Let's try the soft red. I think it's already kind of thin, but yeah, I think this is quite thin to begin with. And I want to see that little bit of pink color coming through, so I'm not thinning it down too much, because in the darker clay it might just disappear. So we'll pour this on this side. I'm trying to get a slightly different angle, but that's not happening. Place this here so I can pour it back. This is just so it's easy to pour. Okay, see, that's what. Let's try this. I'm trying to get a little bit of coverage right here and a little bit of an overlap. All right. Okay. Now, so only now if you see, only this bit is left unglazed, which will be the clay color. So long as my center of my pot is covered, I think I should be okay in terms of pot being food safe. Though once it's vitrified, it's all food safe. But I'm just adding a little bit of pink here so that it covers the center completely. Okay, I'm not bothering with the sides because it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's my one plate done. Okay, I'm gonna clean the back. Ah, this is something I don't want. Okay. Anyways, I don't know what this is gonna look like, but I'm trying few different things to see if I like it. Okay, so that is done. Now we let this dry out, and in the meanwhile, we're gonna go on to the next one. Again, I'm gonna start with the smaller one. This one now, I'm thinking white, pink, and blue, or Shino. Um, I like a little bit of pop of pink, if I'm being completely honest, because it makes it a lot, I think, lively. What if we do white, pink, and blue? Let's do white, pink, and blue. Okay. So we have white right here, right? We've already mixed this. So I'm going to pour it here. Maybe if you pour it in a different way, you'll get a different result. But this is how I am pouring it. And just playing a little bit and also making sure that it's nice and thick. I think I might have thinned it down quite a bit. Then pour it out. Yeah, I have a feeling this may be too thin. So what I'm going to do is, let me just, I think for the white, there's no need to thin it down so much. I have thinned down too much. I'm going to bring this in because I realize with this clay, the white will be more bluish. So it's better to have a thicker coat. So I'm going to go in with one more coat, and probably I'll do the same thing with the other one as well. Okay, this is better. Oh, I like it. I think I like the glaze flowing better when it's slightly, I mean, not thicker, like my normal consistency. Okay, so that's better. Probably stick to that. Okay, and then we clean this. Yeah. Okay. What were the colors you were doing? Pink and blue, right? Let's get to the pink part. Okay, a little bit of overlap there. I don't want too much overlap, and I don't want all the three sizes to be equal also. That's the other thing. Another tip, wait for your first glaze to dry completely before you pour the other one and start playing with it, because you can see the two are mixing. I don't know, maybe it'll turn to something nice, but it's a test. Let's see. All right, we are on to soft aqua. I'm going to wait for this to dry out before I pour soft aqua into the plate. In the meanwhile, I'm going to bring this here and do the soft white again here, because like I said, I want a thick coat. Okay, so more or less around the same area. Obviously you can't control it, but okay. All right, now I'm going to turn this around. We'll just leave it here. I think this is dried enough now, so it won't move. Yes, okay. Now we come in with soft aqua in this portion of the platter. Oh, maybe it's thicker. You have better control then. Clearly, I mean, it should not be news to me, but maybe I can push it along a little bit. Okay, soft aqua was too thick. Lesson number 3. It's okay. Though it has got me really excited, whatever this is. Okay. Yeah, I think it's too thick, but it's okay. Again, I'm making sure that the center is nicely covered. Okay. I missed a little spot here where I manipulating the glaze to suit my vision, because it's kind of thick. I'm trying to spread it out a little bit so that's not as thick. I felt something here. Okay, never mind. Okay. Yeah, this is quite thick actually. Okay, never mind. So this is what our second plate looks like. Okay, and I'm going to be doing the same thing with the bigger platters also, so bigger plates also, so we have a similar combination. So I'm going to keep them right here, and I'm going to thin this out because this is too thick, and not too much, but I'm going to add a little bit of water, just enough to get it going, but not too thick. But this is exciting. I think the trick here will be to find the right colors. I mean, I'm already assuming the rest of it is sorted and I know what I'm doing. But if you know the right colors, complementary colors, if you get the right set of colors going, which I feel is for me is the biggest challenge, what color goes with what, I always find a little bit tricky to figure that out. Again, I'm going to bring in the, no reason, just mixing this glaze well. I'm kind of pouring it around the same areas. This glaze is quite thin, as you can see here, right? So I can spend a couple of minutes. If you want to, you can play around a little bit and then pour it out here. Okay, this is done. Just waiting for this to dry out while I go to this guy and do the white on the side. I'm just comparing it with the smaller plate. Let me just show you. Here's my smaller plate, right? I'm gonna try. Oh, this is a different one. Sorry. Here's my plate that I'm kind of trying to get the same combinations and replicate a similar combination. That's it. I can't really control anything beyond that. So adding white here. Then I pour quite a bit in and then out through the, this is better if I move it this way. Yeah. Okay. Now it's up to you. You want to clean up your edges or leave them with a little bit of glaze on the side. I am not sure right now. I'm still thinking. Okay, so we've done this. The white one, we will wait here. Coming back to this one. Again, we do the same thing here. We add a little bit of white here. Oh, this can be so much fun. This is going to drop. Uh-oh. Okay, no, not bad. All right. You can see a few bits of things in here. There's sometimes, oh, I know what this is. Right. Okay. So that's our second bit done. Now for this, we have two pinks, right? Let's bring the pink here. Okay, which one is this? This is this. Okay, so I want the pink in this area, general area. Okay, so let's pour the pink here. I'm going to manipulate, move this a little bit as per my wish. Okay, and then you pour it out again. And while this dries, we move on to this one and do the same thing, the pink glaze in this corner. Again, the only thing I'm trying to do here is make sure that my center is nicely covered, and also it doesn't look like a very uniform shape. I don't want both the sides to look exactly the same in terms of, like this and this are looking very similar. So I'm going to change and manipulate the color a little bit, the glaze a little bit, so it doesn't look exactly like the other side. Because what's the point then? Okay, that is done. Okay, so we have, this is one set of plates which are glazed kind of similar. I think the way I poured the glazes was slightly different. But we're learning this as we go, right? Okay, time for the soft aqua, which I have thinned down now. Hopefully, won't be too thin. I think this is good. Okay, so I've poured a little bit and now I'm using my fingers to push it in here a little bit. Ah, love it. Okay, perfect. Put this all out. My only attempt in, pushing the glaze around with my fingers is to make sure I get my center is nicely covered, like where my food is going to be. So that's covered, right? And the other thing is that it has a nicer shape to it. to it. So yeah, I think for the edges, I'm going to leave the edges, but I am going to, so this is all done, right? So what we're going to do for the edges is we'll leave the edges as it is, but we'll clean the sides here, right? Like I'll leave the glaze on here, but I'll clean this up. Okay, so I'm going to just, like I said, just clear the sides here and leave the edge, the rim with that glaze there. Not sure how that's going to look, but we're going to try it. Like leave this blue here on the rim and remove the rest. Oopsie. Yep. And then same on this side with a damn sponge. Clean it off. Okay, this I will fire to cone 5-6, just 1200 degrees Celsius for me, roundabout. And I'll show you what it looks like after the glaze firing. Okay. Okay, so that is done. Let me just take a picture of all of these together here. It looks so cute.